vamos a poner arriba para poner esa pata arriba, ese abajo, solo un minuto. So this is the shoulder clod here. This is where the ribs, the ribeye would end and going into the shoulder right up front. And this is also where you would get the brisket, which is right up here underneath the shoulder. This would be the brisket. And back here would be where there's chuck steak, and then there's some flat iron steaks in here. So we use some of it for some flat iron steak, some brisket for brunch, and then we also we use all the trims and extra pieces for a burger. Hi, my name is Shauna Pacifico, and I'm the chef de cuisine here at Back 40. Back 40 Restaurant is a restaurant in East Village on Avenue B and 12th Street. We focus mainly on local and sustainable cuisine. Our goal is to cook as much whole animal as we possibly can, as in using everything from the head to the tail. It's such a known sound to me, of that sound of the fat, like, kind of coming off. This is a quarter. This is the front quarter of a steer from Fleischer's Meat up in Kingston, New York. This beef right here is a New York State beef, grass-fed. So it's not grass-fed all year, or its whole span. It is grain finished. So there's a little bit more fat on it than you would get 100% grass-fed beef. Meat and bone. This piece right here is about 100 pounds, 120 pounds. Oh, I love butchering. I think it's just kind of having my hands in the meat and the knife. It's just really, really neat. It's kind of very carnal in a sense, like of understanding the anatomy of an animal and knowing that that I understand that. It's kind of really fascinating to me. None of this beef goes to waste. We render the fat. We sometimes poach some vegetables or potatoes in the beef fat that we've rendered. Bones go for stock, for soups. Most of it gets ground. This is enough for like a few days. I have a back right over there in the back. That's the back leg right over there. So we break down one and then we'll break down the other one and we'll go through it. And we get that every Wednesday. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this bone right here, which is the chuck ribs. It's kind of like riding a bike. Once you learn how to break it down, you'll always know how. Yeah, it does become muscle memory because everything is always in the same spot. You just pull and cut. It gives me a completely different sense of respect for the meat. Whenever I know that what I'm serving, I can 100% stand behind. I was thinking today on the way to work to talk about the smell of the beef, because when we're down here in a basement and it's kind of closed in, and when we're cutting open the beef, you can really smell the freshness of it. And I've kind of become this weird raw meat carnivore where I am preparing some steaks, like the steak cuts, and I'll just take a little piece and taste it as I go through like different pieces, and it's really good. It's kind of got like a nice grassy, earthy tone to it. So this is the chuck right here. If you can see right here, this kind of looks like almost like a ribeye. So this is where the ribeye would go along the ribeye would go along the side of the cow. This is just kind of right here what you would call neck meat. This is part of the neck. It's good for stews, soups, that kind of thing. Good for burgers. This is the brisket right here. You can see that right here. This is kind of like a familiar piece to people with the big fat cap right in here. We use this on our brunch menu. We do a brisket hash. And these are the shoulder cut steaks that I was talking about. They're really, really good. Lots of deep flavor in them, not a lot of fat, very lean, but it's, I like to eat them best rare to medium rare. Well, I think it's important to want to not just eat, the expensive cuts of meat. It's nice to try other parts of the meat, like we do here, the shoulder steaks and the flat iron steaks, and pieces that you don't normally see in restaurants. Well, because there's a lot more extra meat than there is the ribeye and all that stuff. So there's all this meat that needs to be used in order for us to be able to use the whole beef, we need to be sure that we're selling other parts also. That is one pile of beef. So we went from that big shoulder to all these small pieces, which we're now going to break down this into mostly it's burger. We took out some steak, and then we have our brisket here. We're pretty well known for our burgers here at Back 40. That's why we can get a whole half steer a week, because we do sell quite a bit of it. So we try to keep a nice blend of a 70 meat, 30% fat. And we generally do that by eye. Has anybody ever deboned anything? I hope that people become more interested in where their food is coming from and can begin to understand the process and the hard work and the dedication that people go into of feeding these pigs, of taking care of these animals, and then sending them off, and understanding that paying a little bit extra money really does pay off for everybody in the end. It's like a nice, fresh, grassy smell to it. It really, when I break down the beef, it makes me hungry. It makes me be like, oh, I want to eat some steak like now.